I actually felt that David was really weak. Like, I mean, David is a pretty good debater, even if it is high school debate. But Jack here is going to challenge him on what do you think? And he keeps coming back to what it should be. And he goes, no, not should. What do you think? He comes across as very weak in this argument. Like it's never been pushed back on him before. And he's just having to think of these things now. So they talk about Article 2 here.
The point of your opponents, though, is that nowhere in the treaty does it actually guarantee everyone that level of tino rangatiratanga, that it specifically includes a carve-out for iwi and hapu.
Well, it said it would give tiro rangatiratanga
to the signatories to the treaty.
All the people of New Tirani, all the people in New Zealand. Now, of course, most people say, oh, well, clearly that meant just the chiefs that were there in 1840.
Right. So I think it means all people.
I think it should mean all the people of New Zealand.
You think it should mean? You think it should mean? But do you think that's what it meant?
Well, the courts like to tell you.
No, what do you think?
Well,
I think it should mean.
It should mean all the people.
My question is, what do you think it actually meant?
Well, I think it should mean all the people.
Sorry,
yeah.
I'm not asking what you think it should mean. I'm asking what you think it meant.
Well, I suspect. I don't know. Nobody knows for sure. The courts have told us that it meant only Māori. The courts have told us that we now live in a country.
Remember from earlier, the courts, that arbitrator who's more neutral than either Māori or the Crown, those people, the ones who are in the middle?
Is divided by ancestry into two collectives.
Okay,
and that doesn't work. So here's what it should be.
The line you quoted Te Tiriti there. So ko te kuini o ngā arane ka whakarite ka whakaai ki ngā rangatira ki ngā hapu ki ngā tangata katoa o New Tirani, New Zealand, right? Ngā tangata katoa, and you've interpreted that as meaning all New Zealand.
All the people of New Zealand, yes.
But I mean, you're giving us an English translation of a Māori text there, but of course we don't need the English translation of...
Sorry. This is very good.
Can I just make a quick point here?
Yeah.
Just of something that was quite common at the time. The people of New Zealand, when the colonisers were referring to them, were Māori.
Yeah.
Everybody else was English or British. They didn't identify themselves with the country that they were in. They identified them by the empire they were part of and the country that they came from. So references in historical documents about New Zealanders, they're referring to Māori.
Yeah.
David, because he is not a history guy, does not know this.
Well, or he does. Again, sorry to be a clanging cymbal, or he does, and he's trying to twist it and hope enough people believe him. But this is very good, this part.
Us an English translation of a Māori text there, but of course we don't need the English translation of the Māori.
So you got that? So basically, English version first, Māori version written from the English version, and now David Seymour is giving you an English interpretation of the Māori version. But what we're about to hear is you don't need to interpret what the Māori version was, because the Māori version was written from the English one. So let's go see what the original English one said.
Text, because the Māori text was based on the original English text, right? So what does the English text of Article 2 of the treaty say?
Well, you've got it in front of you. Why don't you read it?
Well, I mean, so this comes to the heart of your argument,
that's
right?
not good.
So really, we're looking to see whether or not the English text guaranteed all people in New Zealand, tino rangatiratanga, or just iwi and hapu.
And you're going to read out that it says that they're going to protect the chieftainship of their lands.
I'll read it out, just because, I mean, you've given us an interpretation of the Māori text, but here's the English text upon which the Māori text was written. Her Majesty the Queen of England confirms and guarantees to the chiefs and tribes of New Zealand and to the respective families and individuals thereof the full, exclusive and undisturbed possessions of their lands, estates, forests, fisheries and other properties which they may collectively or individually possess, so long as it is their wish. That's tino rangatiratanga for Māori, a specific carve-out for Māori, not for...
And guess what? Old Seymour's only comeback is, yeah, but aren't we supposed to use the Māori version? Not the English version. We're supposed to use the Māori version, whereas Jack's just showing him, I know. So in other words, you've now got David Seymour fighting to use the Māori version, which means two things. First is, okay, so let's get some Māori language experts to tell us, oh, you don't have any? Oh, okay. Well, then let's find out how that was written from the English version. So it's a very, very nice bit. So now he'll explain it again, and then we'll move on.
That's tino rangatiratanga for Māori, a specific carve-out for Māori, not for all New Zealanders.
No, I understand that's what it says, but equally everyone tells you you've got to use the Maori text because that's what the signatories understood.
Interpreting the Maori...
That's a bit woke, don't you think, Chewie? Well, Seymour's a bit woke. Using the Maori version? What? It's a bit woke. Huh.
Māori text, when the Māori text is based on the English text, shows that clearly it's a carve-out for Māori, not for everyone. That's what the treaty says.
It's a very cute argument, Jack, but just remember...
it's actually an argument based on the treaty, right? And whether or not your principles actually reflect what's in the treaty. And you say that the principles are for all New Zealanders, and clearly the treaty says this is for Māori.
No, your cute argument is that we must listen to the Māori text because it's the Māori text that it was signed, it's the Māori text that the British were the proposers of it, therefore it should be the Māori interpretation that is used, and then as soon as convenient you say, oh no, actually no, we'll go back to the English text.
And your cute argument is that the legal scholars have interpreted the Māori text as meaning one thing are wrong, even though the Māori text was based on an English text which very clearly shows that the carve-out was for Māori, not for all New Zealanders. Now,
boom. I mean, like, boom. I mean, like, boom, 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 boom. Go, Jay.
Again, just to really underline something, because Jack says there, not all New Zealanders. Again, when you're referring to documents from this time period, New Zealanders are exclusively Māori. So that's a really easy interpretation when it comes to this. That's who they were talking about.
Yeah. People who live in this country.
Yeah. And this is the thing. Like, David isn't a law guy. He's not a history guy. He thinks that this is a plus, and he thinks that is why everybody should have their say on a historical document that many will not have a grounding to understand. Like, just opening it up to everybody. Yes, sure, pure democracy. Call it that. Is it effective lawmaking? No, it's not. And we just really need to draw a point that David, earlier in this interview, where he is bricking it the entire time, comes down to the fact that he said we are the envy of the world for our race relations.
The reason that people believe New Zealand has the best race relations in the world is because we've never done or never dreamed of doing what Canada's done.
Straight out of the gate, first couple of minutes, he destroys his own argument. It is spectacular.